Okay, why?
The Lutheran Church in Liberia is called to the transformation business. Jesus, the Lord of the church, says he came to transform lives. In John 10:10, Jesus says, I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Bringing about the abundant life is challenging under normal circumstances. It becomes even more challenging in a war-torn country like Liberia. The reality is, if the difficulty of bringing about the abundant life lasted only during the war period, it would probably be manageable to some degree. The problem is the challenge does not end when the guns go silent. It is after the firing ceases that the real work towards transformation begins. Liberia experienced a civil war that lasted from 1989 to 2003. That is 14 years of fighting within a nation of 3.5 million inhabitants. This is a nation in which one can say that everyone is related somehow, or at least a nation in which everyone knows everyone. It was in this context that Liberians witnessed the death of over 350,000 of other Liberians. This led to the harboring of grievances and the beginning of the cycle and culture of violence. The Civil War produced more than 100,000 armed combatants from the many factions and the armed groups that emerged. Added to the armed combatants were deactivated personnel from military and parliamentary institutions. All these forces in a nation of about 3.5 million created a traumatized nation. Therefore, the abundant life eluded the Liberian population. A peace accord was signed in Accra, Ghana in 2003 to bring the Liberian nightmare to an end. The signing of the peace accord with support from the United Nations and the broader international community was a major step in the right direction. It initiated strides in restoring peace, security, and democratic governance. It prepared the ground for disarmament and demobilization of armed groups, the repatriation of internally displaced persons and refugees, the re-establishment of basic government functions and services, and the relative peaceful elections of 2005 and 2011. But after such noble progress, the questions remain. How will people devastated by such traumatic experience regroup and attend to the task of nation building? How will they begin to approach life without the suspicion that they were going to be betrayed by the neighbor? How will Liberians become neighborly again? How will they make the transition from viewing their tormentors as evil monsters to seeing them as people? These are just a few of the questions that the church in post-war years asks in an endeavor to carry out the ministry of Jesus Christ in making the abundant life a possibility for all of God's children. Providing answers to these questions and others like them is a difficult task under normal circumstances. But what is more at the time when life is disrupted by war? It becomes doubly difficult and apparently unachievable under the circumstances we have described above. It seems impossible to address the concerns when the only thing, it becomes impossible to address these concerns when the only thing an entire generation is familiar with is violence and the rewards it brings. But there is hope where Christ is, and I can say with absolute conviction that Jesus Christ is in the Lutheran Church in Liberia. The Lutheran Church in Liberia, through the support of our partners like the Church of Sweden, stepped in. She stepped in with the belief that our Lord who had mandated her to work toward the abundant life would enable her to address these questions, creating an atmosphere for all folks to come together and talk and work together in the hearts of many hearts in building the nation. Again, I say there is hope where Christ is. That is how the Trauma Healing and Reconciliation Program of the Lutheran Church in Liberia was born. The THRP of the Lutheran Church in Liberia was officially established on March 3, 1998. Its purpose was to promote peace and reconciliation and to provide coping mechanism for people traumatized by the severe effects of the Liberian Civil War and to work toward the prevention of the past experience. THRP is the peace-building arm of the Lutheran Church in Liberia. It operates in an environment of trauma, distrust, insecurity, and hopelessness. It is in this context that the Lutheran Church in Liberia is restoring hope. We have learned many lessons related to the possibility and obligation of the church in post-war years. 1. Helping people deal with the past, develop coping skills, and learn to prevent the repeat of the past. Through the Trauma Healing Program, the Lutheran Church in Liberia gets people to talk about past experiences, develop coping skills, and acquire knowledge of how to prevent the reoccurrence of the past. The program creates an atmosphere for dialogue. People are encouraged to express their grievances and then to work toward reaching agreements. By the use of cultural performances such as songs, drama, and dance, we empower people to deal with conflict instead of using violence. 2. We help restore lost values. Living in lawlessness, displaced, and refugee situations for over a decade, Liberians lost some helpful values. The Trauma Healing Program of the LCL is helping communities restore lost indigenous values that were once helpful before the crisis. 3. We empower people to take initiatives. Robbed of authority over their own lives, victims need to be retrained or need to be trained to take initiatives in handling their domestic affairs, putting down on lawsuits. The program helps people understand their own rights and the rights of others. The workshops help them see themselves as people with power who can make things happen instead of victims, people to whom things are done. They are, by this training, able to value themselves and participate in leadership. 4. We help to rehabilitate security agencies. Being traumatized themselves, the security forces have to be reprogrammed to become friends of the community without taking out their frustration on those they are sent to protect. The program creates an atmosphere of both security forces and community to meet and dialogue. Conclusion: achieving the abundant life that Jesus envisioned for humankind is challenging in itself. It is more so when working in post-war situations. The challenges are many. Most people are traumatized victims, but perpetrators have to live together. The future for such. Achieving the abundant life that Jesus envisioned for humankind is challenging in itself, but it is more so when working in post-war situations. The challenges are many. Most people are traumatized. Victims and perpetrators have to live together. The future for which people have been invested is bleak. The anger is consuming. The obstacles are numerous, but experience has shown us that where Christ is, there is hope. Liberia is moving forward because of Christ's presence in our trauma healing program. Because of the impact the trauma healing program has had on our nation, We are dreaming and praying for the establishment of the Regional Peace Center, a center that will train men and women from the West African region to deal with conflict situations. But more importantly, our dream is to prevent conflicts. We believe that if we could establish, well, if we could accomplish as much as we have in our traumatized, war-torn country, the Lord can use us to prevent the ills that befell our nation and these people. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much.